This is Jonathan Agioff here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined by unbeaten super featherweight Olympic silver medalist Joe Nevin, all the way from Dublin. Are we in?
No, Mullingar. It's about an hour from Dublin, but close enough.
Stand corrected. How have you been, Joe? It's been a while. What have you been up to? How's things?
Just training away, doing whatever I can, genuinely do. Trying to stay safe and try and keep the family safe with this hard time that's going on. But it's getting a lot better. It's easing down here in Ireland, and just staying on top of things, staying in shape.
What's sort of the training been like? Because obviously I know you train or were training with Jim McDonnell. What's sort of the training at the moment?
Just really keeping my running up strength and conditioning at home. I have my own personal gym out back and things, so just punching the bags. I do a little bit of sparring here and there with my brother. He was a good amateur boxer as well, so he knows his stuff. So it's good sparring there. Plus, when two brothers go at it, the tension there and things. So it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Obviously saw you before the press conference for the last fight. Good win over Freddie Fonseca. Scored a knockdown and won on points. Pleased with your performance?
Yeah, very, very pleased. I could have got him out there earlier, but I didn't want to take the chance, because he was a big puncher. He had a big KO record coming into it, and it's just to get the win over, and it was good, and to capture my first little minor title.
Yeah, as you say, you got the WBA International belt. What was that like? I mean, you've had a lot of medals in the amateurs and stuff, but a first pro belt, did it mean a lot?
Yeah, it meant a lot. I was onto my management team and my coach, about when am I going to box for a belt? Just something that that you have there. So eventually this came up, and it was a breakthrough to get you rated in the top 15 as well. So it was kind of a good little starter, wasn't it? I'm rated number 14 with the WBA now, so one or two fights away really from getting a major shot at something.
Yeah. So what is the plan? I mean, you're on a Mick Hennessy show in sort of November. Have you held any talks about what the possibility is of you getting out in sort of the next few months or so?
There's a few options there. Again, that's down to my management team, and we're not going to discuss it really just yet. But there is a lot of options. We can do something with Mick Hennessy again. Obviously, there's many bouts there for me. I know Jonah Carroll is looking at Carl Frampton. That would be a tremendous fight. But if it doesn't happen, I'm rated in the top 15 now with the WBA. I know it could be a step back for him, but it makes sense for the Irish people to see that fight. It'd be a big fight in Ireland. Again, there's Tennyson is there. There's many good fights for me there. With the Irish audience that's there, they'd love to see them two fights. It'd bring out the crowd when the crowds are allowed back in.
So that couldn't happen behind closed doors in your mind.
It could, but it makes more sense if it's going to happen when the audience are back, because it's going to sell an awful lot of tickets in Ireland, especially if whichever promoter grabs any of them two fights in Ireland. Even Jonah Carroll it makes sense for him and Carl Frampton. Obviously, that's the main fight for him, because you're going to sell a lot of tickets. But I'm kind of big in Ireland as well. No one ever heard of Jonah Carroll before Joe Nevin. Joe Nevin was the name there. Jonah Carroll has actually done very well for himself in the pro game, and he's come through, and now he's well known through the world, But again, I think the audience that we bring out for them, like me versus Jonah Carroll or Tennyson, them two fights, it makes sense. And they're something like the fights I want to be in before I go after a title, or maybe, who knows, even for a world title.
What did you make of Jonah Carroll's performance against Scott Quigg on what was probably the last show before lockdown?
He did very well, very, very well. But Scott has been, to me, was shocked before that fight. You know, Scott Quigg was just in it for the pay. If you get me, he was a great fighter. But the Scott Quigg 3 to 4 years back versus the Scott Quigg now, the Scott Quigg 3 to 4 years back stops the Scott Quigg. Jonah Carroll, to me, his best performance was against Kevin Farmer when he actually lost, but he put a major stamp on it, on the boxing world for him. You know, he gave it his all, and you know, he shined for me that day. Even though he didn't win, he came up against a great boxer, a great champion, and he was just beaten, you know, on points with a great champion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, watching your style, and I've seen in February I was at the Kell Brook fight, and obviously Martin J. Ward was on the card. You're quite, I wouldn't say similar, but you have very slick sort of styles. I think you've sparred before, if I'm right in saying. Do you ever see you two meeting eventually?
With who?
With Martin J. Ward.
Martin J. Ward, yeah, it'd be a great fight. Again, it has to make sense for everybody. You know, again, this is in the amateur game. You box the best. You box whoever's put in front of you. But as a business, this, like, I didn't get this game at the start, but now I'm starting to get it. So my management's behind me, and I trust them and my coach. So obviously, it has to make sense. You know, it's pointless me and Martin J. Ward going in, putting on a great show, putting on a great fight, no matter what the outcome is. You know, and if it means nothing, it means for nothing, and if it means you're getting paid, you know, buttons. You know, this is it's an entertainment job. You know, we're there to entertain the crowd and, you know, put on a show. So I think obviously it has to make sense for the boxers as well.
As you mentioned before, with the likes of Jonah Carroll, James Tennyson, yourselves in that. Even in, you know, the women's game, you've got Katie Taylor. What do you make of sort of the Irish scene as a whole right now? It seems like it's thriving right now.
Yeah, we have many great boxers. You know, when you look back at Andy Lee, Paul McCluskey, I'm going through Bernard Dunn, all them greats, Irish professional boxers. You know, even them times wasn't as good as the professionals we have now. The names we have coming through. Irish boxing is just building as the years go on, and you know, we've a great crop of lads there. Like, you have Jason Quigley, you have Michael Conlon, and well, Paddy Barnes is retired. Carl Frampton is, you know, he's not gone yet. He's still there. So obviously we have a lot of great boxers. The two lads I mentioned, Jonah Carroll, James Tennyson, myself. There's many great boxers there, you know, and it's thriving.
How difficult do you think your style is going to be for, you know, the guys at sort of the world level? Do you believe you've got like a certain style which is going to cause them a lot of problems?
I've done it for many years, you know. It was just something about my style. Look at the lads I've beaten in the amateur. I know it was only over 3 rounds, but then I boxed a semi-pro game. Look at the lads I've beaten in that. I've beaten, you know, world champion now, Oscar Valdez, in the Olympic quarterfinals, you know, and I didn't just beat him, I hammered him. If you look at the score, and it doesn't do justice for me. I don't know. I just boxing the better guys brings out the best in me, and I think my style is just, you know, to call me awkward and things. I don't think it is. I don't think my style is awkward. It's just that I'm good at my job. You know, I try to bring them down to the pace I want to set, and I try to, you know, control what I can do, not control what they can
do. When we talk about Irish fighters, in sort of a crossover sort of format, obviously Conor McGregor, is it true that you were sparring him a few months ago?
No, we were doing a little bit of sparring, 3-4 rounds here and there. Well, he's a good guy, you know. We did a bit in the gym, and there was another thing there about an exhibition he did with another John, but that wasn't me. But I've actually done a few rounds with him in the gym. I've done with that Artem Lobotov, or whatever way you pronounce his name. I've done a bit with him, so I'm always at the gym. I'm always at his gym in Dublin. I'm there with him. So yeah, he's a good guy.
How do you find sparring him? He's obviously had one professional fight, obviously against Mayweather. But what's it like being in the ring with him from a boxing sense?
Yeah, obviously they're going to have different styles. You know, they have their own styles, and it's something you don't see every day. You know, something you don't see every day, and it's challenging, if you get me. It's very interesting. You know, obviously when they're sparring me, they're saying the same things. Yeah, it can be very challenging trying to figure out what they're going to come with next.
Mm. Were you shocked to hear that he retired from the UFC the other day?
Yeah, but you never have Conor, you know. It's just, you know, it's just could be one of the say something here today and then come back with a big major shock next week that he's fighting some big name or something. You know, you never have Conor, so I wouldn't read too much into that.
I remember at the press conference we spoke a bit about your sparring with Vasyl Lomachenko years ago now, but you said to me that it was kind of, you believe you should be part of the circus. I mean, what surprised you maybe the most about being in the ring with him, and what maybe impressed you the most about them?
It's put it this way: it was like you're doing a bit of shadow boxing. He's that hard to hit. He'll only let you hit him if he's trying to set you up for something. So if you see, oh, you're having a bit of success here or something, you know, he's probably 2 steps ahead of you, planning a nasty shot or something for you. But yeah, the speed of his hands with he'd go around with these big 20-ounce gloves, while everyone else was wearing like 14, 16s at the time. He's going around with these massive paddings and everything, wearing these ankle weights, you know, and he still is quick and way quicker than any other lad he sparred. You know, it's just tremendous stuff he comes up.
How did you sort of nullify him during those sessions and sort of like, you know, make it so it was benefiting you in a way?
I don't know, just obviously trying to hit him, trying to land some punches in him, and then again, you know, if he was trying to punch back and things, if you made him miss with his hand speed and things, you know, you're doing something right. So it was good. It was nice to share a ring with such talent like him, and you know, you're only going to get better with sparring the likes of him.
Is he sort of the best person you'd say you've been in with? I mean, right now he's probably pound for pound top 3, maybe 5. But is he honestly the best person? Because you've been in with a lot of names, as you mentioned, Valdez and Luke Campbell. You fought in the Olympics. Would you say he's definitely the best?
By far the best. By far the best. It's just tremendous.
Finally, I remember also we spoke a bit about how, you know, the doctors sort of wrote you off. I know you suffered a few injuries a few years ago, and the doctors sort of wrote you off when, you know, having a professional career. So, I mean, it must be very satisfying to see what you've done sort of since that happened and, you know, the path you're sort of heading towards.
Yeah, definitely. The doctor that time, that when I had a broken leg, says your career is over. You just get on with your life and enjoy the success that you had. For any sports star or any sports athlete, to hear them words, it's not words you want to hear. So I got up, back, felt sorry for myself for about a week, and then, you know, finally just thought about it, and, you know, I could prove these guys wrong. I've actually grabbed a little title now, but I'm not happy to walk into the hospital just yet and approach that doctor. I need the world title, and then I come back over to them and say, what were you just saying, that I was finished? And just ask him, does he want to get a picture with the world champion?
I'm sure they won't be the only one. John Joe, finally, what can sort of the fans expect from you sort of this year and towards the end of the year?
Again, I want to be fighting for a world title at the end of this year or the start of next year. 1-2 big fights. I need one big fight with either one of them guys, I know, and to do well in it, you know, and I know I will do well. Taking nothing away from the guys, but I have the tools to be a world. I know every professional boxer believes in themselves, and they have to. You know, they have to believe, or else they wouldn't be in the game. But I honestly think that I've went to the top. I've retired #1 in the world as an amateur at bantamweight, and I honestly believe I can be world champion. And I'm not just saying that. I wouldn't be in this game if I didn't think I could go that far and be world champion. I would not be in this game.
And is that any route? I mean, as you say, you're ranked with the WBA 13th or so. So is that the WBA route or any route which comes up?
Whichever route comes up, you know. Again, whatever route comes up, I'm avoiding nobody, and I'll take on anybody.
Finally, I have to ask you about a fight in your division coming up, Jamel Herring and Carl Frampton. At some point, it will happen, it seems. How do you see that fight going, John Joe?
I think Carl will beat him, and I hope Carl beats him. You know, it'd be good for Irish boxing. It'd be good for British boxing, as a matter of fact, as well. And hopefully Carl gave me a good write-up when he went professional. He says the reason he went professional because he wouldn't beat Nevin in the amateur game. So hopefully he just, before he retires and before he defends that belt against somebody else, and I beat one of these major guys around the one time he beats or beats world champion again, hopefully he gives me a little run of that title of his and says, right, let's share the ring with John now just before I retire. Nice to give something back.
Brilliant. Well, John Joe, I appreciate you coming on, giving me this time today, and I look forward to seeing where the rest of 2020 takes you.
Thank you very much, John.